just checking. Can you hear us okay?
Yes, you bet you loud and clear.
Awesome. And one more reminder for everyone that's here, please make sure your phones are on silent so we can minimize any pings and disruptions throughout the contact so that everybody can hear the contact well. And take all the photos and videos you want. As many as you can. We'll use all of them.
Don't give me any ideas. As many as I can.
I mean, hey, might as well.
Yeah. I'll take like 5,000 pictures.
Go for it.
And let you sort them out.
Sounds good. I'm not sleeping anyway.
Call that a movie?
Yeah, we'll bring Sterling coffee at 11 p.m. so you can sort out pictures.
If you're watching live, this is Sterling in 0SC. I'm behind the camera, so you get to see all of the campers. But we'll be on the air shortly, so hope you enjoy this view of the room. The pass will actually start at about 2:40, but in the meantime, enjoy this view of our great camp. This is the Youth on the Air camp at Ottawa, Canada. We'll be getting started just shortly. And this is our awesome panel of actual presenters, actual askers of the questions, so you'll get to see them here shortly.
Yes, we are here.
We'll start your video in about 3 minutes.
All right, roger that.
At the end of that, I'm not exactly sure what the very end of it, if you just give me some kind of cue
Yes.
at the end, and then I'll get started right after that.
Yes, I'll let you know when we're done.
All right, sounds good.
Awesome.
So yeah, about 3 minutes, I'll let you start whenever you're ready.
All right, roger that.
Sounds good.
Sterling? Hello, everyone. Can everybody hear me good? All right. We are about to get started. I'm Ruth Willett, KM4LAO, the Assistant Camp Director for YOTA Camp 2023, and I'm so excited that we're going to be able to do an AIRIS contact today. In order to start us off, I wanted to play a video that was put together by the ARRL to give a little intro to this contact before we get into more discussion with our ground control and moderator. So without further ado, let's get going. My name is Ruth.
And my name is Chris.
You must be pretty excited to talk directly with astronauts on the International Space Station today. While we're waiting for the space station to come over your portion of the sky, let's talk a little bit about how it's going to happen. Of course, Mission Control is in contact with astronauts all the time, using a big radio with lots of fancy equipment.
However, we're going to be using something very different today. We are going to use ham or amateur radio to talk directly to the International Space Station.
When most people hear the word radio, they think of a music radio station. But it's so much more than that. Radio actually refers to the unseen energy that transmits all sorts of signals using electromagnetic waves. At first, people learned how to send signals like Morse code. And then they discovered you can send so much more, like data, computer signals, and even TV.
Maybe you don't realize it, but you use radio every day. Maybe you watched the TV this morning, or you texted your friends, or maybe even you check social media like Twitter or Instagram.
Let's travel back to space for a minute. Since the beginning of the space age, humans have sent many spacecraft out into the universe. These range from the Hubble Space Telescope, orbiting the Earth daily, and the Curiosity rover exploring Mars. We've even sent a long-distance messenger, the Voyager 1, who has traveled outside of our solar system.
Whether it's capturing a great picture of a far-off galaxy or conducting experiments on the space station, radio has to do with all of these. And today, you're going to be using ham radio. Now you might be wondering, what exactly is ham radio?
Amateur or ham radio is a service and a hobby where operators can talk to people around their neighborhoods, their cities, their country, and even around the world. Amateur radio operators require a radio license from the government. They're not that hard to get. I have one. My call sign is KM4LAO.
And mine is KD8YBJ. Our call signs are a way of identifying who we are to other operators. This lets everyone know that we have a proper license to using the radios.
As amateur radio operators, or hams as we are often called, we can talk with others about basically whatever we want, often science or some new radio gadget that we are interested in.
Let's focus back to the space station and your contact today. Many of the astronauts and cosmonauts aboard the space station are licensed ham radio operators. That's why your operators today can contact them. The people here, as well as the astronauts, are licensed to talk to each other, and you are allowed to talk over to the radio.
For our conversation today, we'll need an amateur radio station on the ground, either in this location or somewhere else around the world. We'll also need a radio in the space station.
Anyone SS?
You can hear the calls coming. This is November Alpha 1 CRCR, the International Space Station, over.
On the space station, the radio transceiver is connected to an amateur radio antenna mounted on the outside. One of these antennas will be used today during our contact.
For our side of the contact, we need a good-sized antenna, a signal amplifier, something to make our signal stronger, and a rotator for turning our antenna. We have to keep our antenna pointed right at the International Space Station. And remember, it's moving across the sky and fast.
To aim the antenna properly, we need to track the path of the space station exactly. NASA uses complex systems to track the path of the space station and other orbiting objects.
The satellite tracking program we are using works out a complicated set of mathematics to provide the orbital location of the space station moment by moment as it moves through space. This information is sent into the computer that controls the antenna rotator, which moves the antenna to follow the space station. Maybe some of you have seen or worked with robotics. That's pretty cool stuff. And just like you can program a robot where to go, what to do, and how to get there, you can also program a computer to tell an antenna how to track the space station across the sky.
You know, it took a lot of planning to get this contact. Several weeks ago, the ARIS operations team had to figure out when the space station's orbit would pass over this location. Then, they had to talk with the planners at NASA's Johnson Space Center. The cruise time is pretty full, so they were able to find a time that worked for the crew members' schedules. Once they found times that would work both in space and here on the ground, the host organized this contact. And in just a few minutes, you'll be hearing and talking to the astronauts.
Well, it's almost time for your contact. It will be exciting, so good luck with it. All right, we're good to go on this end.
All right, sounds good. Hello, everyone. This is Brian Jackson, Victor Echo 6, Juliet Bravo, Juliet in Airdrie, Alberta. I'll be your amateur radio moderator for today's event. Just want to check one more time. Ruth, you have copy on my audio.
Roger that, Brian. This is Ruth, KM4LAO. You have good copy on your audio.
Excellent, roger that. Through the help of amateur radio volunteers and the crew on the International Space Station, we will soon hope to establish ham radio contact with the ISS as it flies more than 350 kilometers above the Earth towards Italy. This is all accomplished thanks to ERIS, the amateur radio on the International Space Station program. The ISS is currently flying over the Atlantic Ocean on a southwest and northeast, whizzing along at around 28,000 kilometers an hour. This contact, as you heard in the video, will be performed using the Amateur Radio Telebridge Network, a worldwide network of amateur radio ground stations that enable students to contact the ISS. ERIS is a consortium of ham radio volunteers from 9 nations that develop and operate the amateur radio station on the International Space Station. Some of the members of ERIS are the American Radio Relay Team, the worldwide AMSAT Radio Amateur Satellite Corporations, the Canadian Space Agency, the European Space Agency, Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, National Aeronautics and Space Administration, and the Russian Federal Space Agency. The amateur radio ground station that will establish contact with the ISS today is India Kilo 1, Sierra Lima Delta in Casale Monferrato, Italy, operated by Claudio Ariotti and his team. Thanks for helping us out today, Claudio.
Thank you, Brian.
We have about 4 minutes until contact time. Our contact today will be with Steve Bowen, KI-5BKB, who will be operating OR-4 ISS on board the International Space Station. Steve will be talking with youth amateur radio operators attending the Youth on the Air, or YOTA, summer camp in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. The ERIS mentor for this contact is Steve McFarland, BE3TBD. We've asked Ruth Willett, KM4LAO, to please briefly tell us about the YOTA summer camp program and the youth taking part today. Go ahead, Ruth.
All right, hello, and thank you so much for this opportunity. So Youth on the Air, or YOTA Summer Camp, is a week-long event for young amateur radio operators ages 15 to 25 from North, Central, and South America. So now in our 3rd year of operations, we are dedicated to connecting young people through amateur radio communications and STEM activities. We're really passionate about fostering a worldwide community through our hobby, and this generation of campers is in the perfect position to do so. So throughout our week here in Ottawa, Canada, we have learned to build antennas and telegraph machine kits. We have talked around the world on high frequencies from both permanent and portable stations. We've learned how to operate using Morse code. We have launched and tracked a high-altitude balloon. We've communicated with amateur radio satellites, and we've expanded our horizons through tours of Ottawa. This will actually be the first time that many students will see how connected amateur radio is with the International Space Station. So through this contact, we really hope to learn how amateur radio provides communication into low Earth orbit, better understand the life of an astronaut on the International Space Station, and motivate more young people to pursue STEM fields. Now back to you.
Great, thanks, Ruth. Audio before the contact begins here in a few minutes. Please tell us a little bit about the IK1SLD ham radio station, where you are, and how you'd like to handle today's conversation. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Brian, for your presentation. Briefly, our Telebridge station, as you say, is located in Casale Monferrato Airport, northwest of Italy, and 100 kilometers from Turin and Milan. With me today is operator Mike Nicol, India Uniform 2 Lima XL Radio, and Alessio, India Uniform 1 Papa Lima Mike. When T-minus 30 seconds, I'm going to call Steve Bowen aboard the ISS operating today with Oscar Romeo 4 India Sierra cosine, and as soon as signal will be loud and clear, I will invite the student to start with first question. And for the student, don't forget to say over, because this is a very important thing to coordinate the conversation between us and the astronaut. So now I see the ISS approaching to Europe, approaching to France in this moment. So we have 1 minute and 45 seconds to the hours. So microphone, back to you, Brian.
Great, thanks Claudio, good luck today. Remember, to everyone involved, even though we've done it more than 1,000 times on board the International Space Station, this is still somewhat of an experiment. You can never tell the results, either positive or negative, of the experiment until it's over. So good luck to everybody involved, and to the youth there, just like Claudio said, don't forget to say the word over. Looking forward to a successful contact. Good luck to everybody involved. Claudio, I'm going to turn it over to your team.
Okay, Brian, thank you. We have 1 minute from now to the contact.
Come on, you go ahead and come up. I'm sorry.
Okay, ISS is approaching to halves in Italy. So we have 15 seconds. Okay, I'm calling now. Oscar Romeo 4, India, Sierra Sierra. This is India, Kilo 1, Sierra Lima Delta, Telebridge ground station, calling for a scheduled service contact. Do you copy, Steve? Over. Attention, Oscar Romeo 4, India, Sierra Sierra. This is India, Kilo 1, Sierra Lima Delta, Telebridge ground station, calling for a scheduled service contact. Do you copy, Steve? Over.
Kilo 1, Sierra Lima Delta, this is Oscar Romeo 4, ISS, and I am loud and clear. Ready to go.
Okay, thank you, Oscar Romeo 4, ISS, IT1, SLT. Good evening, Steve. Your signal is loud and clear. If you're ready for a first question, I pass the microphone to the first student. Over.
I'm ready for questions, over.
Okay, go ahead, Canada.
This is Oktay, VE3IQO. What is your favorite view from the cupola? Over.
Every view from the cupola is absolutely amazing, whether it be nighttime or daytime, or sort of riding the Terminator, where it's you're in sunshine, but it's dark below, and you really can't make things out. You can see the horizon. It's an amazing place to watch there. Over.
This is Jack, W9RFT. How does amateur radio factor into life and science on the ISS? Over.
Specifically, the amateur radio is sort of an outreach mechanism for us, especially on board now, because we have so many other means of communication. But just the understanding and training that goes along with learning to operate the ham radio, the amateur radio systems is just a great wealth of science and helps understand basically how all this works. Over.
This is Ethan, KO4VXT. What radios and antennas are used for the ISS program? Over.
Right now we've got this Kenwood set up here, but it varies through the years, and they probably have the better information down there than I have up here. So probably better to ask somebody not using it right now. Over.
This is Grace, KURJU. How does your training in the Neutral Buoyancy Laboratory compare to extravehicular spacewalks? Over.
The amazing thing about NBL training, neutral buoyancy lab training for EDAs, is how accurate it really is. It gives you a true tactical feel for the EDA. It doesn't give you the, floating in your suit full strategic view, I like to say, but it is absolutely, you can't beat it. It's the best training we do for EDA. Over.
This is Finn, KD2WTR. What is your favorite food to eat on the station, and is it the same as here on Earth? Over.
It's varied over the time I've been up here over the past 5 months, so right right now, I would say my favorite food is sort of this beef patty, similar to a hamburger, but there's been some pastas and some fish and a few other things through the past few months, and it's not the same as on Earth. And I have my druthers as to what I want to have on Earth when I first get home. Over.
This is Trip, K5TRP. Does the ISS have a HF station, and have you ever used it? Over.
And we do not have an HF station on board the ISS, and I'm not sure we'll ever get one. As I said, we have so many other means of communication right now, and our time is pretty tightly controlled, so really this is a break for us. Over.
This is Alex, KO4ZMC. Does the International Space Station provide weather data from visual observations to ground stations? Over.
And no, we actually don't provide visual observations for to ground stations. Occasionally, historically, we provided a few. I was on console at SCATCOM one night, and the ISS observed a volcanic eruption that nobody was recording up in the Aleutian Islands. And that was the first they heard of it was our phone call up to the Alaska Volcanic Observatory. Over.
This is Abby Kimi, KK7CFJ. What advice do you have for someone wanting to become an astronaut? Over.
The biggest advice is to study hard, do well in school, and then after school, fall into a profession. Obviously, a STEM field gives you better options as far as becoming an astronaut, and do what you love and do well at it, and always look for more opportunities and challenges, and then apply when you have given the opportunity. And even then, it's a roll of the dice, and I feel very fortunate to be here. Over.
This is Oktay, VE3IQO. What sorts of creative outlets do you get while on the ISS? Over.
We have a few options up here. People read and write and take photographs. And, there's a few musicians that have passed through here. I know people have done different sorts of projects. Mostly I just kind of like the rest when I have the option and look out the window and enjoy being in space. Over.
This is Jack, W9RFT. What types of experiments are being done on the ISS? Over.
Exactly. Right now, there are hundreds of experiments going on board the International Space Station, many of which we operate in the background. We don't have to interface with very much. Many we also have to interface with as far as changing out samples and maintaining the systems and putting them on. And the other part of that, though, is we're also part of the experiment. The human physiology aspects are measured, so it's continuous, and it crosses all the fields, whether it be biology, material science, and it's just basic research, and it's a national laboratory. Over.
This is Ethan, KO4VXT. Once we have interstellar travel figured out, which celestial object would you like to visit first? Over.
I have never had that question before in my life. I really think that's pretty amazing. I don't know where I'd like to go first, but now that you've asked that question, I don't have to think about it. I'm not sure how far I want to go, how much time we have, but I'm sure we'll get there someday. Over.
This is Grace, KE8RJU. What current experiments are you conducting that will benefit life on Earth? Over.
And as I illustrated earlier, there's hundreds of experiments going on board, and specifically we've had some essentially fluid flow experiments that may have impact into medicine delivery, and there's a few others that we've got going on board right now that really deal with sort of the basics of how things work, and obviously our personal experience with our bodies and the experiments, what they learn from how our body behaves in space has already changed the way we understand our human physiology on Earth. Over.
This is Finn, KD2WTR. What is the coolest space station repeater contact you have made? Over.
Actually, I'm starting to think this is probably the best because you all are asking so many great questions that I've never had before, and I greatly appreciate that. And I'm starting to think this is my favorite one so far. Over.
This is Trip, K5TRP. How has learning multiple languages affected your daily life on the station? Over.
And Trip, it helps a lot to be able to listen when people speak, regardless of what voice they're speaking in or what language they're speaking in, and having that, being introduced to several different languages through the years, it's very nice to have those skills. Over.
This is Alex, KO4ZMC. How are QSOs logged and sent to ground stations from the ISS? Over.
And those QSOs aren't required for logging. I don't. So we just keep track of what we want to on our own up here. And that's an interesting question, though. And what I know that some people have in the past and kept a highly rigorous score as they came through here, but most of us just like to use it for what we're doing right now. Over.
This is Abby Kimi, KK7CFJ. Do you have a favorite DSLR camera and lens combination for taking pictures from the ISS? Over.
So we are right now using some Nikon cameras, D5s, and that's sort of the standard body we use. There's so many different lenses that we have. 400 millimeter lens is sort of the ideal one for taking as close-up pictures of the Earth. But I really appreciate the sort of 70 to 100 range, just to get that broader view many times. Because, you know, there's Google Earth nowadays, and you can get really close-up views, and sometimes just to get that perspective from the space station is what you want. Over.
1 minute to us.
This is Oktay, VE3IQO. Are there property taxes for the ISS, and if so, what district would they go to? Over.
And thankfully there are no taxes up here with the property that we have on board. I'm not sure where they would fall. I guess it would fall under whoever owns this. Since we're owned by multiple countries, I'm not sure how they split that. Over.
This is Jack, W9RFT. Do you have any go-to life advice? Over.
That's an odd question as well, so this is making it fun. I really say I'd like to treat each individual as an individual and really look for the good qualities in as many people as possible and try to do my job as best I can. Over.
This is Ruth, KM4LAO, and that is all of the questions here from YOTA Camp. Over.
Well, it's been a pleasure to talk to you all, and I greatly appreciate it. And thank you all for some very great questions I've never had before, and have a wonderful summer. Over.
Okay, thank you, Steve. This is ground station. Thank you for the contact. Over and out. Ciao, ciao.
To everyone involved today, we just shared a moment of history. Amateur radio station India Kilo 1, Sierra Lima Delta in Casala Monferrato, operated by Claudio Ariotti, IK1SLD, contacted Steve Owen, KI5BKB, aboard the International Space Station. They spoke to campers from the YOTA 2023 summer camp in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. Congratulations to all involved. Please give yourself a big hand. I'd like to thank Claudio Ariotti, IK1SLD, and his team at the ground station, as well as Steve McFarland, VE3 TVD, for his mentorship. Now for the international volunteer team of AIRS, including radio amateur satellite corporations around the world, ARRL, CSA, ESA, JAXA, NASA, and Roscosmos. This is Brian Jackson sending my greetings to all of you in amateur radio terms. 7-3 from VE6JBJ. Have a great day, everyone.
73 from Victor Echo 3, Yankee Oscar Tango Alpha. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Steve. Thank you to all the people involved to the contact. Very good contact. Our compliment from our team in Casale Monferrato. And see you soon in the next contact. Greetings from us.
We did it!
There you go. Thanks, everybody. Congratulations, Claudio. You team is fantastic. Ruth, you heard the astronaut get stumped a few times. That's never happened before. So congratulations on excellent questions. And like I said before, the experience of all your campers on the mic sure shone through. That was fantastic. Congratulations to everybody.
Thank you so much. We had a blast.
All right, good luck with the rest of the week, and look forward to catching up with you soon.
Roger that, 73.
73, everybody.
Yeah, we did it.